About the synchronization.
I know. All right, welcome back to the throne room. Was that loud enough?
Yeah, I think that was loud enough.
Okay.
I can see it in the...
Yeah, you see that? That's very loud. Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us. Josh Pink, Alex King. I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yeah, it was a long week.
Dude, I know. I didn't really have the greatest week, I'll be honest with you.
Me either.
I got distracted a lot. I was on my phone way too much.
Oh, I hit the gym the most this week, and I got a lot of homework done. That's what made it a long week. I got a lot of homework done, but I think I went to the gym less. I might have gone 3 times this week out of the 5 days, and usually I go like 5 out of 5, and I only went 3, which is kind of disappointing. But I got some homework done. But I spent a lot of time on my phone, which is bad. So we'll work on that, I guess. Busy week ahead of us. We got a lot of stuff to talk about again. So, last week we had a huge week. Last week was actually a good week for views. We got the most we got the 3rd most views out of all of the videos we have out right now. So thank you for that. So. It was a great episode. So if you haven't checked out Rip Mama, go check that out. Thank you for your iTunes reviews. If you haven't done that, go do it. It really helps us out as far as iTunes, Apple Podcasts go. Go become a patron at patreon.com/the throne room. There's 3 tiers on there. You get a bonus episode every month if you become a producer or an executive producer. Go follow the Instagram and the Twitter accounts. We're both on there now. We post some good stuff, I guess. I don't know. Some updates about what we might talk about.
Yeah, and topic suggestions are a huge thing, too.
Last week we talked about y'all wanted to hear some ghost stories.
Oh, we got that. Those are on there. We still have to talk about The Bachelor at one point, because that was another topic suggestion.
Let it build up. I missed last week. I haven't even seen last week's episode.
Haven't even seen it either. Yeah.
I went down in my bracket. Mm-hmm. I don't know if any of y'all are in those Bachelor fantasy leagues. I'm in one, but I dropped from 3rd to 5th. Or no, 6.
I don't even know what... I'm in the exact same league. I don't know where I am. I'm probably like halfway last time I checked. Okay, so units and eulogies. We're going to jump right in, starting out with the sports talk. So Phillip Rivers, obviously, he's not going to be a Charger anymore.
Yeah.
You're a big Chargers fan, right? How do you feel?
So my dad, he's from California, and so that was our NFL team growing up, was the Chargers.
Yep.
Then they moved locations, but they were still the Chargers, so we were still Chargers fans. Mm-hmm. And, we've always had Phillip Rivers ever since I could remember.
Yep.
It's my dad's favorite quarterback, and then...
Yeah, it's sad because, he's one of the greatest. He's in that conversation.
He was held back by who he was around, I think.
Right. Yeah, he didn't really have a great team ever. But, I will say he is a great quarterback, and he never got to really... because you think about great quarterback... I mean, if Eli Manning has a Super Bowl ring, Phillip Rivers should have one, for sure. Another guy that's leaving his team is Greg Olsen, Carolina Panther tight end. He's in that conversation of just, great tight ends. Like, you think about, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Rob Gronkowski. Greg Olsen's in that conversation. Aaron Hernandez. So you think about those great guys, and he's a great guy. Yeah. He's an all-around great person, and he's a great football player. So not that he's fully retired. He's just they're not. Him and the Carolina Panthers aren't. They've already come out and said that they're on the same page that they're not going to be together.
Is he being a free agent? Because Phillip Rivers is going. He's still staying in the NFL. He's just looking for. So maybe he might get his ring.
Yeah. So it's still possible if he goes with the right team that he could. And,
I think he's going for it. I think he wants to end high.
Yeah. Another huge name, probably one of the biggest names out here, and this just came out today. And we've known this that Mr. Tom Brady, the GOAT of all time. He's going to be up for free agency after this season. He was on a 1-year deal, 1-year contract extension. Patriots are probably going to sign him, but there's a rumor out today that the Raiders are trying to acquire him.
That would be
in a deal in a 1-year extension. Basically, the rest of his career.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, basically the whole the rest of Tom Brady's career is going to be 1-year extensions. They're not going to sign him a 4 or 5-year deal. He's not worth it. It's kind of like every year we got to reevaluate Tom Brady because we don't really know how he's going to feel physically, how he's going to feel mentally, if he wants to keep playing.
Old.
Yeah, the guy's done anything and everything you want to do as a quarterback. He has all the accolades. He has all the records. He has the Super Bowl rings. He basically is what's going on, is what's happening here. And so Patriots, if they want to keep him another year, that's something that his whole family, Mr. Kraft, they all got to sit down and have a conversation about that. I don't want to. I honestly, like, as much as I don't like the Patriots, I have respect for them because they're a legacy, man.
It'd be weird to see Tom Brady in another team.
Exactly. It's like it was like when Brett Favre didn't play for the Packers and he played with the Vikings and the Jets. I was like, yo, what are we doing? This isn't like the normal football that I'm used to watching.
Fantasy football.
This is weird. So I'm not really. Same thing with this is a little different because they had great success, but when Peyton Manning was with the Broncos instead of the Colts. It was kind of weird, even though they went to a Super Bowl and won. I mean, it was still a little strange. So I don't want to see Tom Brady go to another team, but we'll see what happens. He might play one more season with the Patriots, probably.
We'll see if Phillip Rivers keeps it, or maybe he'll end on I know. Maybe he'll make it to Super Bowl.
Yeah, hopefully. Biggest sports news this week in literally an hour and a half. Super Bowl is, I don't know, what number is it? 50?
Something.
I don't know.
XV.
I really should know.
XV.
Wait, XV.
No, I don't know the number.
Okay.
I'm just spinning out Roman numerals.
All right. The Super Bowl is in like an hour and a half. So once we finish this, we're getting wings and we're watching it.
Yeah.
So we're all gonna put in money, buy some good wings. I don't know where at, but that's the plan. And you and Sam are invited.
Oh, she ain't gonna watch.
I probably should have told you before that we started this episode, but you were invited.
I gotta go change first.
Yeah, that's fine. We can take care of it.
I'll talk about that before we get in. Yeah. So I went out last night, hung out with some friends, and we were just cruising around campus and everything, around College Station. I felt like a celebrity last night. Shout out to Riley Smith.
Yeah.
There were two of them, but one of you I was talking to, and you were talking. I was like, it's so weird that both of you are Riley Smiths, because I have a friend named Alex King, and if he marries his girlfriend, they'll both be Alex King. Yeah. She was like, oh, I know him, and I was like, oh really? I know him too. And she goes, yeah, he's got the dark hair, and he runs a podcast with some guy, and I'm like, I'm that guy. You're so that guy. I'm that guy.
That's awesome. So I remember. I mean, I don't really know her, but we had a it might have been Instagram or social media interaction, and that's kind of how we know each other. And I guess through some friends in the class that graduated underneath us too. She's real good friends with them apparently.
Yeah, she knew some other people that I know.
But yeah, that's awesome that you're watching the show. Thanks so much, Miss Smith. Appreciate the support and keep watching.
I want to run into more people.
Yeah, exactly. So if you recognize us anywhere, come say hi. We'll bring you on the show if you really want.
I was starstruck. I was like,
yeah.
I might go get a face tattoo.
Well, really, like I said, I mean, we're seeing growth. I will say, since we've been starting putting episodes, and since you came on the show, we've actually seen a lot of growth. So, guys, thank you so much. But like I was saying, Super Bowl's in an hour and a half. We've already covered George Kittle and Travis Kelce, that matchup. But a story that I really want to bring up is Richard Sherman. This is kind of a dude that I mean, a Super Bowl winner. One of the greatest secondary players to ever play the game. He's a stud. Had a terrible Achilles injury, I believe it was. And, kind of was set back. Nobody really thought he was going to play again. Everybody thought he was done. And this is like a star. This is a dude that is just an interception machine. Just plays great man-on-man coverage. He's a beast. And so when you're done like that, nobody wants to pick you up because you're now a liability at this point. You're not looking to make plays. You can go down to anything, and it's going to cost teams money, and possibly games if they have to bring in a crappy secondary. So, he fought hard. He negotiated his own deal with the San Francisco 49ers. Last season didn't do a whole lot. 49ers didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
But
they're in a Super Bowl.
Now they're in a Super Bowl, and literally, he's back. He's back, and he's an old man just picking balls off, still covering great. That I've said to multiple people, because people ask me all the time who I think is going to win. I think the Chiefs' offense is extremely high-powered, and I don't think many people realize just how many weapons they have offensively. But I was thinking about this earlier today and late last night. The 49ers have a freaking defense.
Yeah.
Take Richard Sherman out of the side. I mean, their whole defensive line is insane. D Ford, okay? Nick Bosa, which is, if you haven't seen Nick Bosa highlights, look up Nick Bosa highlights.
That name speaks for us. That's
Yeah.
That's a big boy name.
He is a man. First of all, I think played at Wisconsin. Yeah, he played at Wisconsin. He was like right behind J.J. Watt and a freaking monster. And he's not like a fat boy.
Yeah.
Like you talking about a defensive end. This dude looks like a Greek god. He's
a big boy.
6'4", like almost 280, and he's just chiseled. He's a beast, and he's so fast, so strong. He can get around any tackle you put him up against, and so not to mention Armstead. This is a D-line that's going to come after you.
Yeah.
They don't have a bad linebacker core either, so this is going to be like strong offense versus strong defense. Let's not forget, Chiefs have a great defensive line star too. Frank Clark. Frank Clark is a beast. He's not a man to be messed with. He's a monster. So a lot of great stars in this game. I'm excited. I just want it to be a good game.
I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah. And like you said last week, it won't be our normal like Tom Brady playing another Super Bowl kind of game.
Oh, the Patriots whooping this year.
Exactly. So I'm excited for it. I hope it's not just all one-sided. I hope it goes back to back. Last season when the Rams played the Chiefs, I mean, it was back and forth. It was like 54-53 game. I mean, I love that. That was everyone just loved watching football. People were tweeting about it. It was just this whole,
We'll be tweeting about it.
Oh yeah, we'll be tweeting about it. Keep in mind the throne room will be active later tonight, and that wraps up units and eulogies.
Moving on to blowing up the phone.
Oh yeah.
What we got you see they started filming the new Batman.
Uh huh.
What was it? What's his name?
It
doesn't say anywhere. No one's confirmed that he's gonna play the Batman yet.
Really?
It's not.
I thought it was like pretty confirmed.
It's not confirmed that it's gonna be him. It's just he's in the movie. He's their like big like. This guy's in the movie. Come watch it. What's his name?
The dude in Twilight. Christian. Maybe not Christian. No.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale's coming back. No, but they had an article out maybe 3 weeks ago saying that he's not putting on enough weight to play Batman. Like he's not building
skinny Batman. E-boy Batman.
Like the Dark Knight Rises Batman, because Christian Bale wasn't like jacked.
But he was lean.
He was lean. Yeah, he was very lean. So anyway, I'm excited for this. Who's the best Batman you've ever seen on screen?
Christian Bale.
As far as comics goes too.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
Because a lot of people say that like as far as the comics go, like Ben Affleck was actually the most close to.
Accurate.
He was pretty accurate.
But I still liked Christian Bale more.
I just can't take Ben Affleck seriously.
I can't either.
After I saw him play next to Jared Leto, I was like, come on, this is not real. And plus Batman versus Superman, like, dude. Like, imagine if Christian Bale's Batmans were in a really crappy Batman movie, you wouldn't take him seriously. Like, if Heath Ledger never was the Joker, If
it was Jared Leto with him.
Yeah, dude, nobody would give a flying frick what Christian Bale was doing. Yeah. So, I think because of the how amazing those movies are, that's why we respect Christian Bale more.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I just like those movies more.
Yeah. Oh, they're better movies.
They tried to make the DCU too much like
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, the Marvel movies.
Yeah. As soon as Guardians of the Galaxy blew up, I mean, Suicide Squad was like the DC Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was terrible.
I was so excited for that movie because I have a couple issues of comics from Suicide Squad just because I like to have them there.
Yeah.
Because I like that group. I think it's a cool concept.
Well, and plus Will Smith is a huge name, and he's playing in a DC movie. That's huge for the franchise. And our big topic today is, by the way, like the greatest franchise in history. Because you could go so many different ways with it. So we'll talk about it at the end of the show. So stay tuned. Next up. Do you care about the Obi-Wan rewrites? I know we talked about it last week.
It makes me a little excited because they're doing because they keep delaying it just simply because they don't think they have a writing team good enough to make a good enough story for what they want to do with it.
Right.
And I'm perfectly fine if that's why it's getting delayed because that just means they want to do it correctly and do it right.
Yeah.
And they're putting that much attention into it.
Yeah.
So
they might have seen there was huge and there was great reception for The Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. But people said it was episodic. It was there wasn't enough arc to it. Yeah, it was just kind of so maybe they're kind of taking a step back and hey, we want to make the writing really good and not make it sort of like a Wild West episode thing. We want an actual arc here.
Yeah.
We want to start and a finish. We want to kind of let the audience enjoy the ride. instead of just having a new setting and new this every episode, because that can get kind of exhausting. You want to keep on the path of like what's going to happen with these characters over a longer period of time.
See, I like those Western like one shot. Like me and my roommate, we just got finished watching this old like cartoon anime from the '90s, Cowboy Bebop, and it's a long series, but it's like it's episode by episode. There's stuff like you can just click on a random one and watch it.
Yeah.
And every now and then something will like call back. Like I know the last episode they had like this big like main villain they've been setting up the whole time.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just like the crew of this ship. They're just cruising around space, going places like around. Like one, they come across some like sleeper agent assassin, and he's like they're like because they end up on some carnival planet.
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna happen?
What the heck?
They do that.
Yeah, I'm not saying I dislike them. I mean, I love The Mandalorian. I absolutely loved everything about it. I really wouldn't change anything. I think there was just because, let's be honest, it was episodic, but there was an arc for sure.
Yeah.
If you watch the first episode to the last episode, I mean, there's a huge change in how Mando feels about Baby Yoda. Mm-hmm. You know, how he's receptive to him, how he's more protective of him. So there's definitely is an arc there. You can't deny that. Now it's important to note with this Obi-Wan series is that the film date hasn't changed, which doesn't really make sense to me. If they're starting over from square one, when you're doing rewrites, I mean, people are panicking because you are starting over.
Yeah.
You're throwing out everything that you had on paper and you're going back to the drawing board, square one.
Concept art.
And I'm the only thing that worries me is that they're throwing everything out the window, starting fresh, but they're not moving the film date, the starting film date back, so it might be rushed.
Yeah, that would be whack.
Yeah, because you can't rush something like Obi-Wan. Mm-hmm. He's such a great character, and Ewan McGregor is a legend in the Star Wars like canon. And you can't mess that up. So I don't want it to be rushed. You can't rush that. Like, do you think it took only a year to write the script, like the early script of Breaking Bad, or like a great show like Game of Thrones? They probably took a longer time, to write some of that stuff. It didn't take a year.
But they rushed the last season of Game of Thrones. They definitely rushed that.
For sure, yeah. They did for sure. And that was the only season I watched, and that seemed a little rushed to me.
Oh, you gotta watch the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I knew like the politics of it, and I kind of knew, I got caught up on a lot of it. But
you gotta get invested in it.
Well, see, my thing is like, watching 8 years of content just for one season of where everything comes together, and they tie up like polar opposite different like sides of things where everything's so wide open. Yeah. They tied it up in like what, 6, 8, 7 episodes?
Yeah.
How many was it?
It's so good to watch like the rest of it because you see like everyone starts off on all these different continents and there's people still alive that aren't later, but then it's just it all slowly is coming together for that final season. Yeah.
They messed it up. That's from what I've heard.
They messed it up.
You just showed me this video. I want you to give a play-by-play.
So the Grammys happen, and I'm a big Tyler the Creator fan. I really like the new album. That's when I hopped on the fan train for him. So I don't really know all of his older music except like a few songs. Yeah. And so he won a Grammy. I was really excited about that, and he also performed at the Grammys. And it starts off. He's wearing that like mishmash suit with the bowl cut wig. Yeah. And there's just him and 4 other guys by like a trash can fire, and they're just harmonizing, singing "Earthquake,"
which is great song.
And it was good, and it was really nice. And then I don't know, he goes to the middle of the stage, and it's like I don't know what song it was.
So bad.
And then the music goes wonkers, and he just starts screaming into the mic.
It has nothing to do with Earthquake. It's not even the same melody.
It was 2 songs together. Yeah, they were polar opposites. And then like a bunch of people dressed like Tyler the Creator is at that time during the performance start coming out and just walking around. Yeah. And and then they all start screaming and freaking out. The whole place is on fire. Right. And then they go back to the harmonizing of Earthquake.
Which, if you don't know who Tyler the Creator is, like fundamentally, I mean, he's a comedian. Yeah. The dude started out as like a meme, basically, and so that's why this whole time I was like, "Yo, this is a joke. I can't. This isn't serious." It's like if he's being serious, like if he's trying to be actually like creative, like
that was pretty creative.
That's bad. It's bad. It's creative,
good
but
visuals.
Dude, it looked like he got that wig from like the dollar store. He threw that on.
I've watched some stuff from his concerts, and like he's been doing them all in that dress recently, and they're pretty funny.
Really?
Him just prancing around the stage to Earthquake.
Oh man,
there's some pretty good stuff from his like previous performances.
It was bad to say the least.
I'm glad he won a Grammy.
Yeah,
He's been hunting
that's
for one.
That's great.
Before he tweeted, "I'm about to win a Grammy." It was like the victory energy.
The victory lap.
Win a Grammy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Grammys, Billie Eilish just absolutely destroyed it.
Swept.
Literally destroyed it. And she's a very extremely talented person.
Yeah.
She's 18. She literally just turned 18 like yesterday. Not really. But
pretty recent.
Pretty recently. Yeah,
December.
very very recently. And she's just
done more than me. No.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Freaking Alexander the Great was like 16 when he was taking over continents.
Yeah.
That's probably the most talented person in history.
Yeah, the most young.
The youngest dude to accomplish the most in human history. So is like the closest thing to that. Yeah, this is the closest thing to that we've seen in our lifetime.
Yeah. There's conspiracies that she has ties to the Illuminati, right?
Dude.
Because she came out of nowhere.
She did.
About it.
She did.
And the whole thing is that it's like a test by the Illuminati to see how receptive we are to whatever they put in front of us.
Well, what is the Illuminati?
The collective rich that run the world. Just to glance over it.
Okay.
So it's a test of how easily receptive we are to what's given to us, and it goes on to be you were told that she was supposed to be a good artist.
Yeah. But objectively, she has a great voice.
Yeah, she does. She is a good artist.
She's a great artist. So, what?
It's just, because she, came out of nowhere.
Yeah. She did. But, of course she came out of nowhere. She's only 18 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's super young to be doing anything on, to win a Grammy, let alone, how many, 5 or 6 did she win?
4.
4? Yeah. Still, man, that's a lot. So there's a lot of different receptions to Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
We're still, this has only been
mournful week.
It's been a week today, and usually when a huge name like this dies, at least in the meme world, because we follow a lot of different meme pages, and usually the this is something I've never seen before. Because when X died, when
this didn't get memed really.
This never got memed. And if it was memed, it was taken down immediately. People absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
People were dude, take this down. This is so disrespectful. Never before have we seen something like this in our lifetime where somebody dies and people don't start joking about it.
Yeah, and they didn't get memed. And there's a few I've seen because I follow some pretty dark humor pages.
Yeah.
And there's a few I've seen.
But I've seen maybe 1 or 2 over the last week, but all the comments are just giving this guy so much crap. There's barely any likes on it. It's and so, which is great. Eventually they're gonna come. Let's be honest. Eventually they're gonna come, but it's it might take a very long time. But it's just super interesting to see because
the world reacted to it.
Yeah, man. When a dude like X dies, it's LOL. Literally the next day.
No, within the hour there were memes of him chilling in this, and they were he do be chilling though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, literally people like that when they die. Jeffrey Epstein. Not that he should be not joked about. But
no, that was good. That was immediate.
Instantly, and it still is the funny thing. There's still memes going on about Jeffrey Epstein.
I saw one today. Speaking of DC, it was this is the Suicide Squad. Do you notice how Jeffrey Epstein isn't in it? This is why it is a fiction movie. I was oh my god.
Yeah. There was a book that was in Barnes and Noble, and it was how Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. And it was the table of contents was epilogue and then how he did it, and it was on page 3 to 92, and every single page was he didn't. You just flip the page and it just says he didn't, and that was a book that was published. It's just saying that he didn't kill himself for 90 pages.
Jeez.
So it was great. Go purchase the book.
I gotta give me a copy of that.
Yeah, seriously. There was rocket strikes on a U.S. embassy in Baghdad this week. Early on this week, Monday or Tuesday. Does this worry you at all?
Well, yeah, because, like, it never really, like, happened after that. It was just, they struck rockets on us. There was no, like, Trump didn't come on live TV and say anything.
Well, there's no casualties, mind you.
Yeah, I know, but it's still, like, eventually...
Yeah.
You hit a base with that enough times, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, somebody's gonna die.
You know like when they did the rocket strikes when the plane went down, like they just finally released a report about like a bunch of people had to go get sent back home.
Yeah.
Because they had like hearing damage or like concussions, just from the force of it hitting.
Yeah.
So like just because there's no casualties doesn't mean people didn't get hurt.
Right.
So like.
And I mean, it caused damage too. That's something we got to repay for. And it's not like we have enough money to really pay for random things. It just kind of shows that
like this isn't over because it kind of just faded off.
Yeah,
we stopped talking about the World War III stuff and we're like the coronavirus.
The coronavirus, yeah.
But it just shows that like it's still there and like the tensions are still high strung.
Yeah. Well, there's so many, like, it was back to back to back in January. It was like World War III. Yeah, World War III is literally happening now. We're getting drafted, which the draft isn't a thing. It hasn't been a thing since Vietnam, so relax. And then, it was the coronavirus, which is still going on, and we're about to talk about it.
It's getting worse.
We're getting into it. And then Kobe died like last week, so it was like it has been a pretty crappy year so far.
Yeah, January.
January was bad, so the coronavirus, that guy we were talking about in College Station actually doesn't have it. We got the email
in the middle of the episode.
Literally in the middle of the episode, we get an email from A&M saying like, "Hey, we're good. Yeah. It's good. We're fine." Literally, maybe
we are good.
Yeah.
We
are not good. We are not good. But literally, like the next day, A&M sent another email out saying that there was somebody else who has it, and it's confirmed that he does have the coronavirus, or he or she, whatever. And again, they can't say who it is, where he lives, like what classes he's taken. Obviously, HIPAA and FERPA laws prohibit that. So, but it's getting worse, and coming up here in a couple days, maybe today or tomorrow, that Chinese 1,000-bed hospital is like being completed. Like last week we talked about them starting it. It's like the fastest construction of a 100-bed hospital, 1,000 beds, which is great.
I wouldn't want to stay in it.
I mean, dude, the Chinese are insane when it comes to like
building stuff,
like engineering stuff. I mean, going to school in the greatest engineering school in Texas, like everyone in class is like, "Yo, this is insane. This is like no joke."
Yeah.
Like this is like a feat of engineering to build a 1,000-bed hospital, multi-floors in like a week.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. And so like the geotech work that goes into that.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff like that, like when you test soils to build a foundation, dude, it can take months.
That looks good.
Yeah. And so it's wild. And so I guess everything's working out. So I guess in a couple days here we'll be done
with that.
I
don't know how much that'll help in theory, because like
it's just a place to keep them, a place to quarantine them.
It's spreading like wildfire out of Wuhan. It's in like Italy. Britain has a couple cases, and I think somewhere else. I can't remember the third one. I remember seeing throughout the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, Italy has confirmed cases, so it's spreading through there. Britain has it.
Yeah.
And like it's confirmed in there, and it has spread. Oh, it's in California.
Oh, for sure, California, and there was another one in like Massachusetts.
Yeah.
That or somewhere up northeast that had it as well, and I don't know. I think only the guy that was confirmed here is the only one in Texas.
Yeah.
Just happens to be in College Station. Thank you. Thanks and gigs.
Guess I'll die.
T's and G's. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? But
you see, Sonny, there.
You see,
down here, now we're all gonna die.
You see, E. King Hill brought down, and he gave us the coronavirus. We were marked with excellence. So, but anyway, I'll tell you what though. Are you like genuinely scared to go to class because of it?
I mean, I'm not genuinely scared. I found because I had to go get my helmet. I had to go get a riding helmet the other day, and I found an Asian market next to it. I was like, "I'll go check it out," because like I usually have to go to Houston if I want to go get like kimchi or something.
Yeah.
Me and Sam want to cook something at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know we had one of these," so I check it out. And I mean, everyone in that building was coughing, and I won't lie,
dude.
I was getting nervous.
Yeah, man. No, and not even the coronavirus. If everyone in a building is coughing, you're not gonna feel safe.
Yeah.
Heck no. How can you feel safe with that?
I mean, I'm fine going to class. Would I love to get some excused absences for this? Yeah.
Yeah. Get some days off of school.
Was it going to happen? No.
No, definitely not. I could take some days just to work. If I just had days to work, to edit the show. I haven't done highlights in forever. I need to get back on that.
Someone in my outfit was pretty sick for a couple days, and I was like,
yikes, dude. Yikes,
kill him with
man.
fire.
Like, if anyone goes to the gym, you know how many germs are spread at the gym?
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
where
lot.
I'm, like, most nervous, too,
yeah,
also.
That's where I'm scared. Should we move on to Might I Recommend?
Yeah, we can.
All right, Might I Recommend? If you're somebody like me, I'm going to give a sponsorship for myself here. Yeah, if you or a loved one suffer from anxiety like myself, for no reason, and it's not like chronic, I'm not like having anxious breakdowns at Walmart where I have to fall down on the floor and like foam at the mouth and cry.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm not that anxious, but I'm kind of numb to it at this point where I just get anxious for no reason. Like I get really anxious if I haven't done enough work. Like if I haven't been productive enough,
how I feel.
I get so like if I lay in bed till like 1, literally I'll be anxious for the rest of the day, and maybe like when I wake up the next morning because I just haven't been productive. Yeah. If I don't go to the gym and then work with my engineering company, or if I'm if I'm not doing enough homework, or if I'm not doing stuff for the show, I'll get anxious.
Yeah,
and so I did a little bit of research. I did my due diligence, and cold showers are supposed to help you with your anxiety. So if you have a really anxious day, don't think that a hot shower is gonna like relax you. It's gonna bring your muscles like relax. Don't think that. It makes sense in theory, but cold showers actually bring enough shock to your body where it sort of like gives a restart.
Yeah.
And you kind of forget about all the anxiety stuff, and it works. I tried it this week, sort of in the middle of the week where I realized that I was on my phone too much, and I was like, okay, I got to get my crap together here. I got stuff due in the next couple of days. I got a bunch of differential equations homework. I got statics homework I got to get done. I got to get these hours in for work so I can get paid, so I can pay my rent. So I was just getting all these thoughts, and I was kind of overwhelmed. So I took a cold shower. I started out with a hot shower for like 5 minutes. I got really hot and kind of like a sauna. And then I cut it on like all the way, like freezing cold. And it like forces you to breathe. Like you ever take a cold shower and you like have trouble breathing? Yeah, you have to like, it resets your whole body because it's like hard to breathe. So you just kind of breathe. You just like take deep breaths in this cold shower. It works, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So
it also gets you out there quick because that's what I do. Like my 8 a.m. Get PT before, and so I don't have time to go through and take the full shower and everything. Yeah. So I just put on the cold and I'm shampoo, body wash. Yep. And then I'm done.
You feel great afterwards. I mean, it's kind of like a restart. It's like when you force restart your phone. I mean, it's just like your body just goes, "Oh, I'm awake." So it's good. So might I recommend taking cold showers to relieve anxiety?
Yeah.
It's great. It's great for you. Also,
I wanted to hear about
I don't know. So
yeah,
dude. So I'm a huge coffee guy. I only drink it black is the thing. I don't like
my Starbucks.
Yeah, you got more. It's McDonald's. Yeah, McDonald's, come on the show. But I only drink black coffee. Like I'll get cold brew, just black. And I'm not a huge like, oh, I need a shot of espresso and then like a gallon of freaking milk. I'm not that guy. If you are, that's whatever. But I tried a dirty chai latte yesterday from the Brew up in College Station up here. If you know where it is.
Dirty?
It has a shot of espresso in it because chai latte is basically just tea. It's chai tea.
Okay.
And I actually have some here for you tea connoisseur.
Oh.
Yeah, so we can try it. But it's really good. It has like a sweet and cinnamon kind of taste to it. Cinnamony. But the dirty chai, it has a shot of espresso in there.
It has notes of cinnamon.
It has notes of cinnamon and coffee, and it's great. So I really enjoyed that. Also, Mad Mobile, dude. You know what? I've been on my phone too much, and the reason why
throw this on the list.
The reason why is because Madden Mobile is taking up all of my time.
I can't relate to that. Pokemon Go is my Madden Mobile.
Yeah, dude. How much do you play Pokemon Go during the week?
A lot. Like I'll go walk somewhere because I'm like, oh, there's a raid going on over there. Oh, it says this. I can find this one Pokemon.
How many hours do you think you play a week?
I measure it in how much I walk.
Okay.
I can't like measure the screen time of it because I don't play it when I'm just sitting.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just kind of like if I'm out and like walking in just my like casual clothes, I got my phone out. I'm like, stop coming up. So I mean, that's how often. If I'm walking, I'm on it.
Dang. Well, so I probably play Madden Mobile at least one like game a day. I'll probably on average, maybe 2, maybe 3, and I have 3-minute quarters, which means a normal game maybe takes like a full game probably takes 20 to 25 minutes, and I'm playing 2 to 3 of those a day. Plus getting going on the auction board and seeing what players I can get, what players I can sell. So it's like a big thing. And I play that a lot. And I just got all these new players because the Super Bowl's up and there's all these deals where you can get like the best of San Francisco and the best of the Chiefs. And so I've been playing that too much. So shout out to Madden Mobile. If you're a big football guy and you want to kind of be your own head coach and run your own plays and all that, I'd recommend downloading it. So moving on to the big topic.
Best franchises.
Josh, what is the best, like, across movies, video games, TV shows, everything, comics, what's the absolute greatest franchise in history?
I mean,
and there's a lot you have to consider because like you got to consider the widest fan base,
yeah,
like how much money they've made over time, merchandise, everything.
I think it's Star Wars.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. I'm so glad you said that.
Because everything you said, they had that. They've got video games, they've got comics, not that they matter anymore.
Yeah.
They got books. They got a theme park. They have 2.
Yeah.
One in each Disney. They got West Coast and East Coast. Black Spire Outpost.
Did I just cut this off? I think I just cut this off. No, we're good.
Oh.
Hold on. We see this? Oh, it probably sounds really weird. No, we're good.
All
okay.
Right. No, they have the most everything. I think, yeah, because, like, you look on Instagram, there's, like, whole groups of people that, like, own Clone Trooper costumes, and they all meet and do Clone Trooper stuff.
Yeah.
And, that, like, yeah, people, like, go to conventions and cosplay as, like, Marvel characters, but you're going to see a lot of, like, people in Mandalorian armor, Clone Trooper armor,
for
Jedis
sure,
and Sith.
For sure. Never before, if you were talking about, like, okay, give me the most successful franchise in any given 10-year interval, I would say Marvel.
Yeah.
Any given just 10-year interval from 2008 to 2019, that interval, Marvel takes it like hands down.
All time, I'd have to give it to Star Wars.
Yeah.
They've spanned like 3 generations now.
For sure.
And they've got them all wrapped up in this. Like everyone loves Star Wars.
Imagine like from dating from the early 1970s to 2019. How much money has Star Wars made as a whole? And then you compare that to just how much money Marvel's made in 10 years, dude. Like, we've been doing this for 50 years. Star Wars has been doing it for 50 years.
And when you think about it, it's like, because I was listening to someone, they're like, it's not sci-fi, it's a fantasy story. And really it is. And so, like, when you sit there and think about sci-fi, most people are going to be like, Star Wars.
Yeah.
They're going to think about that. And so it's like, it's associated with that. Like, that's the go-to people think of when they think.
Yeah, nobody's saying Star Trek. Nobody's going to say Star Trek.
There's a few people saying Star Trek, but dude, if you're saying Star Trek, you have to know in the back of your head that you are nothing compared to what Star Wars is. Like, you can look up any character from Star Wars. Even, like, if you play, like, the crappiest game in Star Wars, like, I don't even know what that is. What's the crappiest game in Star Wars? The dumbest Star Wars game?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if they've had one. I guess some of the Battlefronts.
The second Battlefront before they kind of revamped it was bad. Let me change my example here. Let's say you're playing The Force Unleashed, okay?
Yeah.
The very first Force Unleashed on like the Wii or whatever, because they had it for the Wii.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I played it on the Wii too. Yeah, that was a great game.
I think that combated my childhood obesity. Was just in there.
Hey, I played it too, man. So, but let's say you're on the campaign and you're, you see this tiny little like droid in the corner, and you look him up on Wikipedia. There's a whole page dedicated to this character that literally nobody's heard of. It's not in any movies. It's not in Rebels. It's not in Clone Wars. It's not in the comics. It's just in this one video game. Somebody has made a whole Wikipedia page for this one no-name little character in some video game that really nobody knows about. That's how insane Star Wars is. And it's like that for every single character. Pages and pages of character development from the fans. Star Trek doesn't have that. Marvel doesn't have that.
Yeah.
It's infinite amount of characters that have endless amounts of information on them.
And there's just merchandise everywhere, and there's like all these different characters people can connect with, because like, you know, like the military community, they love Boba Fett and Jango Fett. They're like, that's what they identify with. People paint that. That's like their Punisher too. Like, you know, they'll put those symbols on like their flak vest. They'll put the Mandalorian symbol on there and stuff.
Oh yeah.
People connect with that. And you know, people connect with the Jedi and the Sith and all that.
Yeah.
It's just like there's something everyone can relate to. You know, speaking of like little characters, I saw this the other day. There was a character in the Clone Wars episodes, and it was a tribute to Kobe.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah. It was a droid.
It was a droid. Yeah. It was one of the general droids. So like the ones that are good at processing, and it was like K2B4. Yeah. It was purple and gold.
Mm-hmm. I saw that too. Crazy. I saw that too. Yeah, that was great. And it's like no other franchise is doing that. Yeah. And I guess some of the other I guess as far as like franchises go, it's like unequivocally Star Wars. Like it's kind of hard to argue against that. You know, a franchise been doing the same amount of productivity for 50-something years.
Yeah, and they're still growing. They've never had like a huge decline.
And obviously with The Mandalorian coming out, there's going to be more with that. Plus they got a whole nother trilogy planned, which is coming in the next 10 years.
Star Wars stories coming out.
They've got
Star Wars, the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars coming back
this month.
Yeah, literally next January we're gonna have an Obi-Wan series starting. Yeah. So there's so much that's coming out. Plus the new video game, Jedi Fallen Order.
It was fun. Yeah. I don't know. Have you ever played like Dark Souls before? So it's hard. It's not an easy game. Yeah. You're gonna die a lot. And it's like that, and then there's also a lot of puzzles and stuff, but it was like, I was watching my roommate, he was making his lightsaber, starts freaking out, because he can make it look exactly like the one he bought.
The one he has, yeah. Like, that's fire, dude.
I was like, that's crazy.
That's so fire. Well, they probably just took the template and made it in real life and just sold it to Disney.
I think they just put it in there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's more than just that one, though. It's not like the same 4 that we have at Disneyland.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me ask you this, then. Star Wars is unequivocally the best, like, franchise as far as entertainment goes. What about like the hugest company,
the biggest company,
like as like in human history? Yeah, in human history, you think Disney?
Well, you go back what?
I mean, they have it all, man.
British tea companies.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah, the tea part. They do it all, man. Disney does it all.
Disney has their fingers in everything.
Yeah, they own Star Wars.
They own well, to say they own the biggest franchise.
Yeah.
That was just something, but they've got their fingers in like so much stuff that they like control a lot.
Yeah, they do. Now they have their own streaming service, plus some of the greatest movies to ever come out when we were kids. So 2 giant amusement parks that make billions of dollars in revenue.
Yeah.
The only other companies I can think of are Amazon and Apple.
Yeah, and
Amazon and Apple are huge.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon has its own streaming service now too, and it's grown from just being the delivery company to now they're trying to like give you everything.
Yeah. Trying
to run your home.
Yeah.
And then I mean, Apple too. Like everyone has an iPhone for the most part. Like
for sure.
You've got that friend that has a Galaxy, Nokia or whatever, but like,
dude, I mean, yeah, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's a monopoly because it's not a monopoly, but. I will say that they're trying to monopolize the lightning cable. Well, they're trying to monopolize just the lightning cable, and people thought they were crazy for like removing the aux cord with the lightning cable for your headphones.
Now
nobody even use that. Yeah,
because they got AirPods now.
Right, because you don't need it.
You won't need it because you got Bluetooth.
And you're like the newest Macs all run on lightning cables. Yep. They have a certain like USB. They don't have like an HDMI, a normal USB. Everything runs off of their cords. So nobody else has like any other cords, really.
Yeah, I think eventually it could become a monopoly, like, but not like by force, but like by choice, because people really do like. People like the iPhone. The iPhone's better, plain and simple. Really,
it's a better user interface for sure.
Yeah, if the like Samsung phones were better, more people would use them.
Yeah,
but there's a reason that everyone gets an iPhone.
That's true. It is true. I do think, however, that because so many people like just standard have an iPhone, you don't want to be that guy that doesn't.
Yeah,
so somehow along the way, Apple has made a culture where if you don't have an iPhone, you're kind of a peasant.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're not one of us.
You're an outsider.
Which is weird because I've heard a lot of great things about what Samsung's doing with their phones.
Like, it don't matter because I'm never gonna buy one.
Because you're not gonna buy one. Why? Because
you're
you're
out of the loop. You're out of the technological loop if you're not using an Apple product.
Which is kind of bad for Samsung because they're never gonna have that ever again unless somehow the culture changes to where, I need a new phone. What do my friends have? Oh, they have a Samsung. Let me get a Samsung.
Yeah.
Is that gonna happen? No.
No, everyone's gonna the iPhone's just gonna be the standard.
I don't see that ever happening in a long time. I'll be honest with you.
And really, if you tried to bring a new phone into it, it'd be almost impossible to compete between iPhone and Samsung.
They have
Google tried to make their own phone.
Yeah, it was terrible. Razer, the Motorola Razer is making a new flip phone that is glass or whatever, and it looks really cool. But dude, it's too nuanced. It's too niche.
Outside of the trendy billionaire that's gonna be I'll have one just for the
look. But he's still gonna have an iPhone.
Yeah.
That he uses on a regular basis. He'll just have it to show off at dinner parties. He's never gonna use it. Yeah.
For his little phone calls.
Right. It's not. I mean, dude, it's insane. I don't know how they made that culture. What made
weird.
People all think that it's cooler to buy an iPhone.
We were still kids when that was growing up.
Yeah, well, we grew.
We never really got to see the rise of Apple.
Oh yeah, we did.
We grew with it.
Sure, we did. We were in third grade when the first iPhone came out.
Oh yeah.
We were in third grade when the iPhone 3. We were in fourth grade when the 3GS came out.
See, but we were still those kids that had if we got our first phone, it was a flip phone or a pager.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now there's a bunch of kids that have that are younger than us that have iPhones.
Oh yeah, dude. Like my cousin, he turned 10 or 11. I think he turned 11 this year. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. Either 10 or 11. Dude, get an iPhone X or XR. iPhone XR.
That's
for his
part
birthday.
of the culture is that you're grown up and given this. You're this is what I'm supposed to get.
At that point, you obviously have to put parental guidelines on your kid's iPhone because you have every human knowledge in your pocket. Yeah. All of human knowledge in history is in your pocket, and that's including all the bad stuff. So you got to protect against that. When we were growing up with the flip phones, we didn't have to really worry about that.
Could barely send out a message, let alone access.
Yeah, and I don't know about yours, but mine had every single text, every single character that you sent over 500 in a month. If you sent more than 500 characters a month, they would charge you.
Yeah.
Now we got unlimited text. I mean, everything is
I'm just sitting there.
loosened
LOL,
up.
ha 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 ha.
Yeah, exactly. I
can send 501 sitting right there.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so I don't really know how that came up, but it's insane.
Yeah, so I think they're one of those untouchable franchises that are out there as Apple.
Yeah. So if you were to rate obviously Disney's number 1, who's your number 2?
Apple over Amazon, I think.
Apple over Amazon?
And then Amazon would be my 3rd.
Yeah, it's close for me with Apple and Amazon. Cuz you remember when Amazon came out?
Yeah.
Dude, it was kind of what the heck is this? Nobody really trusted it because it was like Craigslist. It was Craigslist that somehow blew up into something that everybody trusted. Yeah. Because it's
it was right now we're looking at Wish.
Yeah.
Everyone, that's what they thought it was. They thought it was the same thing as Wish at the time.
Pretty much. And there's so many other companies like that, and they're trying to copy it.
But now I'm sitting there ordering stuff off of Amazon.
Yeah, I saw this dude did a comedy special. I forget his name, but he was saying in America, he came from China, and he came over and he was like, I've been living in America for a little while, maybe a couple of years, and I'm living in upstate New York, and Like, it is insane from somebody coming on the outside how much abundance America has.
Yeah.
I mean, just stuff. Like, so much stuff. So many materials. Like, so much packaging, you know? And it's like, when does it get too much? Nowadays, like, we got one-day shipping on Amazon, you know, and it's like, that's not enough. Mm-hmm. Like, we want, realistically, the modern American really just wishes that as soon as they press the buy, like the add to cart button, they want it in their hand. They're just gonna be
and that's what,
waiting
like,
for it to come.
Same day delivery is like.
Yeah, and like when is that? When is that going to be not enough? When is it going to be like Amazon can be able to read our thoughts before we even know what we want to buy?
Get those, like I'll be able to like blink a certain way and I can order something. And
yeah,
it's in there within the hour.
Yeah,
it's like we could get to that feasibly.
Really, I mean, do you ever see? Well, it was an episode of Black Mirror. And
yes.
It was like where they had that thing in their head.
Yeah.
It was called like the grain or something. I don't know. Where it like recorded all the memories and it basically replaced any streaming service, any news outlet, because it's all in your head.
Yeah.
And you can just throw it on any screen you want and watch. I mean, realistically, in the next 100 years or so, that could come
Musk
up.
Wants to put stuff in our brains.
Yeah, man. Do you trust Elon Musk?
I trust him because he's not like some like weird dude from out of nowhere. He's just a dude that genuinely like has this passion for taking us into the future. That's why I trust him.
Yeah, I trust him because he knows like the dangers of AI. Yeah. And he's openly said like it can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
But it's not something that we should just automatically shy away from because, you know, it is the future.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you are scared of it or not, it is the future, and that's the way we're headed.
I think he's genuinely a good guy, though.
I think so.
Elon Musk.
I do too. I don't think he's out here to, you know, take over the world. You know, I mean, come on, dude's a genius. Dude's genuinely a genius. Yeah. I mean, he's brilliant. And you know, he started from like his like really crappy house office.
Yeah.
And you know, there's pictures of him just in like a really crappy little house office, and you know, but now look at him. You know, he's doing some crazy stuff. He made a truck for memes, bro. He made a truck for jokes.
No, he's got the whole company that's a meme. The Boring Company.
Yo, yeah.
Literally,
yeah. I don't know how a guy like that just has time for that kind of stuff, man.
Well, you know, it has an actual purpose. It's the Boring Company because they bore tunnels.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and so that's what they're gonna. Well, it's like an offshoot of SpaceX, and that's what they're gonna use to dig tunnels on Mars when they go there.
Yeah, that's right. But still, man, he's just doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And he's a smart man. Okay, so if Star Wars is like the greatest franchise, if that's like the number one, what's number two? Like of all time?
I'd say Marvel because they've been able to transcend just being a comic book.
Mm.
They've had like a few good video games they've been able to bounce out into. Like they've been in a few fighting games. It's like Marvel vs. XCOM is a pretty popular fighting game.
Yeah.
And so I'll give them that, but they've been able to transcend out of just comic books. That's not something like DC's been able to do.
No.
I guess arguably you could say they've been able to pop out of... It would be mostly just Batman. Batman's all they've been able to have pop out of comic books.
Yeah.
Because he's had good games.
The Arkham games are great.
And good movies.
Plus Injustice. Don't forget about Injustice.
Yeah.
There's not an Injustice type game for Marvel.
Yeah.
They don't have like...
At the end of the day, Injustice is kind of like a cult favorite game. It doesn't have the same following as Mortal Kombat does or Street Fighter.
It doesn't, but also that's not Marvel, so
yeah.
I mean yeah, for sure Marvel is one of those that is kind of a staple, at least in our generation today.
Yeah.
Now, in 10 years, do you see Marvel making like the bangers that we just saw?
I don't know. It'd take a lot to pull that off. That was like a once in a generation kind of thing to pull that off. You'd almost have to restart.
Dude, we've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
We've never seen like a movie franchise make movies every year.
It's like
multiple movies a year. Yeah, we've never seen that before. Just consistently over 10 years. And you know what? Like it all comes down to 2 movies and then ultimately just one movie where you have an entire world waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
You need to take that?
No.
You have a whole world waiting to see what happens. And it's just this buildup from years and years and hours and hours of viewing and hours of just driving to the movie theaters to see these things.
Yeah, and it just all
You've
culminates.
never seen that in any movies ever. Like, The Lord of the Rings had 3 movies. Harry Potter had 6, you know?
Yeah, I mean, arguably Harry Potter was the closest thing we had because it was, like, such build-up across so many movies.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably, it's the next thing.
But at the same time,
also,
that was, like, based off of a book.
Right.
Like, yes, this had source material is based off of, but this is, like, an original Marvel story.
Yeah, it's not like it's copy and paste from the comics.
It had inspiration from other parts.
Right. It definitely wasn't a copy and paste. And, you know, not saying that Harry Potter was necessarily, but, you know, I just think that we'll probably never see anything like that again.
It would have to be like a big TV show.
Yeah, and that's what they're moving into. I mean, they got what series are they coming out with? They're coming out with some TV series. Marvel is. I forgot what it's about, but
No. You talking about the one with the girl from Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Young Mutants or something.
Yeah, something like that. And then they got the new one with Jared Leto coming out. The new what's it, Morbius or something?
Yeah, that
Morpheus.
I don't know about that.
I don't know either, man. I'm just over Jared Leto.
Yeah.
I'm so over him. I didn't really know who he was until Suicide Squad, and then I was like, this is bad.
I knew him from music. I thought he was just a musician.
He does music?
He has a band, yeah.
I don't know anything about this guy.
I have it on a few playlists.
I don't know. I have no idea who this guy is, but I'm over him, man. I don't. Did you know he was like sending like dead rats and like used condoms to like Margot Robbie on the set of Suicide Squad?
30 Seconds to Mars, that's his band. Yeah, I listened to a few of his songs.
Is it good?
Yeah, I like some of his music.
Yeah.
I like 30 Seconds to Mars.
Well, you know, he was just trying to be like, I mean, yeah, he was sending that kind of like grotesque stuff to like Margot Robbie and Will Smith.
But it wasn't like, he wasn't really getting into it. He's like, I'm going to do this for shock value.
Yeah, but for why?
Yeah, it wasn't even a shock
What's the
value
point?
joke.
He's just trying to be...
It was gangster joke.
He's just trying to be like, just to say that, oh, I'm a method actor.
Yeah.
And like, because, you know, like Heath Ledger like locked himself in a hotel room for like a month in preparation for The Dark Knight. And he literally drove himself crazy because he didn't really eat, apparently, and he was just doing like crazy hallucinogenic drugs. And, you know, so that's sort of what he did. So he wanted to be like, oh, I'm also a legendary Joker actor because I sent stuff to Margot Robbie on the set, and I'm a method actor now. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
I don't know. I haven't seen a movie I've liked him in. He was in Blade Runner also.
Didn't even see that.
I liked it. I'm trying to think. He's not in anything else. Yeah, he's just not.
I don't like him.
I haven't liked a single movie I've liked, or I haven't liked him in a single movie I've seen because I like Blade Runner 2047 or whatever. I like that movie.
Yeah.
But I just haven't liked any other movie he's been in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have very high expectations for Phase 4 of Marvel.
Yeah,
I don't really know. There's a lot of hype about it, but at the end of the day, man,
they're coming off of the sprint. They're coming off of the
they just need to take a victory lap. They just need to take a break, honestly.
Yeah.
Just give us some time to breathe, you know, because then it lets it just kind of marinate.
Like wait.
Within us, and that's better.
Because Far From Home wasn't Phase 4, right? Or is that technically?
Technically, it is Phase 4, I think.
I liked that. That was a good, like, recuperating movie.
Well, you know, that was... Because Spider-Man's a weird thing, right? Because it's not like...
up in the air
Marvel... Yeah, Marvel doesn't really own it. They own, like, half of it. Yeah, because really, Marvel and Sony kind of are fighting. It's like a weird, like, divorce custody battle. Where, like, Sony and Marvel are just, like, trying to pull at Spider-Man to see who gets the clout.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird with that. And so, you know, that's not really the same for me. Because it's like it's technically a Sony movie as well, you know?
Yeah, but, I mean, it still fits in the MCU, and it's really well done.
Yeah. But, I mean, realistically, like, Tom Holland's under contract with either of them. So if Sony wanted to bust out a movie tomorrow, Tom Holland would have to be in it.
Yeah, he would have to suit up and be Spider-Man.
And that doesn't necessarily have to be in the canon for MCU,
which would suck.
I think
weird. People would boycott it. In a way.
Dude, yeah, no, I mean, it would still probably do good because people absolutely love Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I mean, all the little Aubrey Hotchkisses of the world that are obsessed with him would be running around, and it'd be still very successful. I just don't know about all the stuff. I mean, they're trying to dig deeper into the comics with it, which is fine. I mean, it's cool.
But you don't need to whip out the obscure Morbius on us.
Yeah, man, nobody knows. Yeah, the living vampire, or whatever. And cast Jared Leto of all people. God. Cast Jared Leto, and also the same dude that played the last villain in the first movie, Homecoming. What's his name?
Jake Gyllenhaal?
No. Homecoming, not Homecoming. No. You're thinking of Far From Home. Homecoming, like the first one.
The guy that played Vulture.
Vulture.
Yeah.
He's in this movie too, and he's a different character. So that's what I'm saying. It's like a weird thing.
He's playing a different character.
He's playing a different character. Vulture. No, he's not playing Vulture. He's playing a different character.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's not like we're bringing Vulture back and it's a cameo type thing. They're just recasting him as somebody else.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing that, but it's kind of just a weird thing. Anyway, I'm not really. I don't know.
We'll see how Phase 4 goes. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, like we said, it doesn't take away. It was the franchise of the decade.
For sure.
This whole
For sure. The franchise of the generation, no doubt.
Yeah.
And then if you were to think of a close second, obviously it'd be Star Wars. There's no other than Marvel and Star Wars, what else could you say? Nothing.
No.
I mean,
nothing. No project that big.
As far as TV shows go, like
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah.
Walking Dead for a time, but.
And that was like 8th grade to freshman year.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's still going, but.
Dude, I haven't heard a single thing about it.
I don't keep up with it anymore. Yeah. It's not the same.
People are talking about, people were talking about Game of Thrones on Twitter. You know what? And nobody is talking about Walking Dead anymore. Yeah. It's literally dead. It's not. I mean, I don't know who still watches it. To be honest with you,
someone's keeping it alive still.
Yeah, it's like who's keeping Long John Silver's alive? It's still alive.
I'll give you a hint. Filipino people.
Really?
Because my mom's family loves some Long John Silvers.
So just your family is keeping that place alive?
I don't know, but there's one near where one of my aunts live, and they will eat the hell out of some Long John Silver.
It just seems like every time I drive by one, the parking lot's empty.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, you don't eat there all 3 times a day, but...
Yeah, they might have a rush hour, at 3 in the morning.
They have... Seniors eat there, too. They have good senior specials.
Wow. That's insane. Have you seen a commercial for that lately?
No.
Yeah, I haven't either. And A&W, the restaurant, you ever been there?
I feel like that's just not a South thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I mean, they come in pairs with Long John Silver sometimes.
Yeah.
They have those restaurants that are connected back to back in the same franchise building.
Maybe that's what we'll do next week. Best fast food comparisons.
Let's do it. I like it.
We'll get 3 bags of French fries and blind taste.
Okay. I'd be able to pick them out so easily.
I would too.
I know my Whataburger French fries.
Yeah. If that's what you want to see, let us know.
Let us know. Go follow the Patreon. Go become a patron at patreon.com/The Throne Room. You can be an intern, a producer, an executive producer for as little as $5 a month, and you can be shouted out on the show and get some bonus content as always.
Bump into me in public and tell me you're that guy.
He's the guy. He's the guy on the show. Which is awesome. Thanks so much for giving us the iTunes and Apple Podcast reviews. Go do that if you haven't done it. Go subscribe on YouTube. Comment down below what you want us to talk about next. Like the video. Do what you got to do.
Put some stuff on Instagram.
For sure. If you're not subscribed, make sure to do that because a lot of the views we got in the last couple weeks, you're not even subscribed to the show. So smash that subscribe button. I don't know. I vowed to never say that again. So
you just did.
I just did. So I guess I'm just a dirty, filthy liar. You have any last words?
No, that's about it.
All right.
So we'll let y'all know how the Superbowl game goes.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot. Is that coming up? Oh, we got 30 minutes. We're fine. Right. Let's go. You can go get changed and then come over. All right. You remember how we end it?
Howdy later.
Yeah. All right. Howdy later. I have 2 shit. Nice.